Back, continuing on with chapter 4, still talking about managing inventory and production. Let's look at question number 5. Keisha Averill operates Rio Bravo. Rio Bravo is a small, fast casual Mexican-style restaurant. Keisha would like to set up an ABC inventory system for monitoring some of her inventory products. Keisha's listed below last month's usage for 20 key items she holds in her inventory. Okay, so first we're going to calculate our monthly usage here. In order to do that, we're going to take our purchase unit price, and we're going to multiply that times our monthly usage. And again, this is a formula we can use for everything. And again, if you set up your formulas, you should be able to change prices in here, change amounts, and again, it does the math for us. All right, so we have all those menu items listed. Now, below, it's asking us to assign each inventory item an A, B, or C inventory category, where the top 20% of the items, 75% of the cost are assigned category A, the next 30% of the items, 15% of the cost are assigned category B, and the remaining 50% of the items, 10% of the cost are assigned to category C. Okay, now below it's already sorted for you, but I'm going to show you how to do that. We're going to highlight all of this, and we're going to right click, and we are going to go ahead and go up here and sort and filter. All right, we're going to custom sort, and we are going to sort by our monthly usage. And we're going to sort from our cell values, and we're going to switch that from largest to smallest. All right, and let's go ahead and let's click OK. And as we see here, it's went ahead and it sorted everything for us. Okay, so if we remember right, the chicken was up top, now it was the skirt steak. So we have these items here. All right, so we see our top 4 items. These are our A items. Okay, these are the items that we use. The 75% of the cost goes towards them. Then we have our B items. And these are some of our smaller items. But then our C items, these are typically going to be a lot of your pantry, depending again on your operation, but these are going to be your smaller, less costly items, more of like your accoutrements, spices, things like that. Typically your A items are going to be your proteins, avocados, definitely more costly. And as a Mexican food restaurant, you're using a lot of those. So you can see the big proteins up here, the chicken, the avocado, the pork. These would be the staples of your menu. All right, question number 6. Leslie is the purchasing manager for an organic food restaurant with a banquet room. She needs to create a food purchase order for tomorrow. Her par value on hand and special order requirements are as follows. Let's help Leslie determine the amount of each item she needs to order, okay? All right, so here we have our par value, and this means this is what she needs to have to operate every single day, all right? This is what, when she opens the door, she wants to have. Now, on hand is what she has left on the shelves, okay? Now, special order means that there's a banquet coming in, and she already knows that on top of her regular business, she has to prepare these items. Okay, so maybe it's like a catering order or to go, something like that. These are this is an addition to the regular business that she's expecting. So in order for her to place her order, she has to get to her she needs to order her par value plus her special order, but we're going to subtract out what we have on hand. So she should order 7 cases of avocados, okay, because she has 2 on hand. She wants to get to 6, so that would be 4, and we're going to add 3 for that special order. So we'll go ahead, we will copy that formula all the way down. Now, if you're making this order yourself, on the lettuce, you're going to have to make the call on whether or not you think that half case is going to cut it. I would go ahead, I would round it up to the 3. Same thing with the potatoes, I would round up to the 3. And then the strawberries as well. All right, question number 7. Maxine Wilson is an executive chef at the Plainview Air Force Base. Fajita Spice Whitefish is one of Maxine's most popular items. Using the standardized recipe information below, calculate the total recipe cost and the per portion of Maxine's Fajita Spice Whitefish. All right, so for this one, we're going to take, so we can read our ingredients here. We see Fajita Spice Whitefish. It's going to yield 50 portions. Our portion size is 6 ounces. Okay. So we see that it calls for 50 boneless whitefish, 6-ounce pieces. That costs $103.20. Calls for the potato flakes, the cornstarch, the flour, the fajita seasoning. Okay. So the total recipe cost, let's go ahead and let's sum this up here. Total recipe cost is $113. Now, in order for us to get our portion cost, we see our portion cost up here. We will take our total recipe cost and we're going to divide it by the 50. And we get $2.26 per portion of the whitefish. All right, question number 8. Helen Lang is the manager at the Prime Rib House restaurant. Her best-selling menu item is the 10-ounce regular cut prime rib. Helen pays $8.97 a pound for the standing rib roast she uses. When properly trimmed, cooked, and sliced, each 22-pound rib roast she buys will produce 25 regular cut slices weighing 10 ounces each. Tonight, Helen's production forecast calls for the cooking of 2 rib roasts. We're going to calculate the portion of the item that Helen's operation would achieve if the following number of 10-ounce portions were actually served from the 2 cooked roasts. All right, so we see from the numbers we have 2 rib roasts. And the rib roast weights in pounds, okay? They're 22 pounds each. And the total number of pounds will be the 2 times 22. Now our cost per pound we see up here is $8.97. So the total cost for the ribs is the 44 times the $8.97. Now she should get 25 pieces from this, and that's her goal. But there's a person cutting that. And so sometimes you get to a spot where there's a fatty portion, or you cut something a little large, or you have somebody who's training who's not as good. And so sometimes there's human error in there. So let's say we get the 50 portions from there, which is what we want. Okay, we'll take our total cost of the ribs. We're going to divide that by our 50 portions. So they should cost $7.89. But let's say that we just get 48 out of there. Let's take our cost of the ribs, divide by the 48. So that suddenly costs us $8.22 per rib. Now we'll go ahead, we'll make this an absolute cell. And let's copy this formula. All right, so if we serve 50, that costs us $7.89 per plate. Now, if we make a mistake and we just cut 40, we're at $9.87 per cut that we make. All right. So ways that we can control production costs to ensure that rib roasts are cooked and served by our production staff to have the lowest cost. We would be spot checking that carver. What I used to do when I did catering and I had a carver at a station, I would count how many portions he should get in each piece of meat. So whether we did tenderloin or carved chicken or rib roast or something like that, I would count how many portions that he needed to serve, and I would put a napkin in between the plates. So if he got to that one too early, then he was shorting the guest. And he got there, if he had to switch out the roast before he got to the napkin, then he knew his portions were a little bit large. You could also have a scale out there so he can so that person can spot check every few, but sometimes that can slow down your service to the guest. So spot checking that, and then if there's someone that isn't doing the best job at that, I would go ahead and I would have them practice on a cheaper cut of meat. Have them train on maybe like a pork butt or something like that, so they get the feel of how many pieces they need to get, or what 10 ounces feels like for them, what 10 ounces looks like, and that will help them get better at that position.